set for the Saints and the Panthers. Down to the field, Tony Siragusa.
Thanks, Kenny. You know, everyone thinks that this Saints team has lost their home field mojo with 3 straight losses here in the Dome. And the Panthers, talking to them, they think they can make it 4 in a row. But you know what? If they want to have any success, they're going to have to do 2 things. They're going to have to start fast, and they're going to have to score early. And that sounds pretty simple. But this Carolina team has scored the fewest first quarter points in the NFL. So in my opinion, it's going to be anything but the Big Easy for the Panthers here in the Dome today.
All right, Tony and Ron Rivera's Panthers have won the toss. Will receive. Carolina 6 straight losses. Their last win way back on October 5th over Ron's former team, the Chicago Bears. Sean Payton's Saints, as Darryl mentioned in our open, they've won their last 2 on the road, but have dropped 3 straight here at home after winning 11 consecutive games in the Dome.
And when you talk to the Saints, whether it's Sean Payton or the players, and try to find out why that is different this year, he says, listen, it's nothing to do with home and away. It's just about playing good football. We have not played good football, good complementary football here at home this season.
Hey, did you guys like my opening line with the Big Easy? I mean, you guys didn't even say nothing.
Tremendous play on words.
Thank you.
Tremendous play on words.
A lot of thought went into that one.
Absolutely, Goose.
Your English major background came shining through.
It just popped right out there, didn't it?
Well, Cam Newton and the Panthers will start from the 20. 60th NFL start for Newton. He's got to 2 Pro Bowls without the all-time leading rusher in Carolina Panthers history, D'Angelo Williams, today. So Jonathan Stewart in the backfield along with the fullback, Mike Tolbert. On first down, the fake to Stewart. And the catch is made by the fullback, Tolbert. And he picks up a first down.
That's one way to shock him, huh, Darryl?
Yeah,
to the fullback.
And let's put the emphasis on fullback. Mike Tolbert, if you get him out in space, is going to be tough to tackle. But look at the athleticism right here.
Tremendous.
Blocks it up, locates it, works the sideline. Look at that. Look at the big man down there.
Stayed in bounds and everything.
Tolbert gained 18. 3 receivers set. Newton from the shotgun on first down. Over the middle. Out to the 43-yard line to the tight end, Greg Olsen, who's having a terrific season. Olsen gains 5.
And we got a couple of young guys in the offensive line. One of the areas, there's 3 specific areas for the Panther team that we're in a kind of state of transition this season. That's one of them, the wide receiver, the other position. But let's lean on Jonathan Stewart. You know, you talk about getting off to that fast start. We expected Jonathan Stewart right from the start, but it's been play action.
Olsen lines up in the backfield. Off the fake to Stewart, it's Newton, and he picks up a first down and more. He's inside the Saints 40, finally forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So Newton, with his longest run of the season, he gains 21.
And that's the danger, and they force you to account for both quarterback and running back in this. And on this play right here, you've got Greg Olsen out in front with that block, a nice play design that allows Cam Newton to get up and under and then out to the sideline.
Only the 3rd run of at least 20 yards for Carolina all season. Stewart had the first 2. First and 10 from the 36-yard line. On the slant, it's the veteran Jericho Conchery. Down to the 27, a yard shy of the marker. The Saints having their issues once again on defense, ranked 31st in the league.
It's been a struggle this season. They had a really nice year last year in Rob Ryan's first season as defensive coordinator, but they've struggled. Cam Jordan trying to get his guys up. That front needs to really take control. You don't want to have to add guys to get pressure on the quarterback.
Goose mentioned Carolina, lowest scoring team in the entire league in the first quarter this season. Panthers on the move on their opening drive. 2nd down and 1. And they pick up yet another first down. It's the rookie out of Florida State, Kelvin Benjamin, who was held in check by the Saints in their first meeting, and Benjamin gains 15.
And this is a special young receiver in the NFL. Big physical guy. Slant route right there, crossing the face of the defenders. Tough to bring down once he gets rolling in that secondary.
Yeah, I like the pace of this Carolina offense right now.
Newton starts the game 4 for 4. in addition to the 21-yard run. And this is Newton diving forward to the 8-yard line.
There's the emphasis with the points this season in the first quarter for the Carolina Panthers, and it's one of the things they've talked about as part of their struggles. This is a run-first team. We've seen them come out here this afternoon, lean a little bit more on the pass, the play action specifically, but there's a style of play that helps this team be successful, and if they're not good early in the game, it really hinders that.
And they've only scored 2 red zone touchdowns, Darrell, over their last 5 games. Second down and 6. Newton with time to the end zone, and the catch is made by Benjamin for a Carolina touchdown.
What an impressive opening drive for the Carolina Panthers. Kelvin Benjamin at the top. Watch, they're going to let him be a little bit physical on this. Little hand check and some pushing beyond that 5 yards. And that's a heck of a throw by Cam Newton. Not a lot of area. They feel comfortable with Keenan Lewis matched up against Kelvin Benjamin. He had tight coverage, but that was just great location on the throw by Cam Newton.
What an opening drive for Carolina. 9th touchdown reception for Benjamin. Panthers score a touchdown on their opening possession for only the 2nd time this season. Newton perfect, 5 of 5. Graham Gano the extra point. So the Panthers win the toss, select to receive, and they silence the crowd here in New Orleans.
We let you check 2 bags for free because you plan to look this good all week. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
John and Horace Dodge launched their first car in 1914. But they were not only business partners, they were brothers. Competitive, stubborn, and always pushing each other the way only brothers can. Years later, their spirit lives on.
Good start for the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton accounting for all 80 yards on the drive, 56 in the air, 24 on the ground. And the Saints allow a touchdown on their opponent's opening possession for the 6th time this year, most of the NFL.
Yeah, and it's been a challenge for them, and they've started out slow offensively. That's one of the reasons they find themselves with the record they have at this point in the season. Very uncharacteristic in a number of areas from the Saints team we're used to seeing over the last couple of years.
So the Saints will start from their 20-yard line, led out by the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. 5 touchdown passes against the Steelers last Sunday for Drew Brees.
Looks like he's having a lot of fun back there. The Pope is in the audience.
Now Drew Brees hopes to have some fun as the Saints take over on offense for the first time today. Mark Ingram, leading rusher in the NFL since week 8. Games just won on first down.
And I think when a lot of us think about the Saints offense, we think Drew Brees and Sean Payton, explosive, aggressive passing game. But really, if you take a look at it, the running game has been key when they've had really good seasons. 2009, 2011, their 13-win seasons, both top 10 rushing teams. Mark Ingram has them in that position again this season. He's been on a great run since week 8.
Brees on second down to the outside. It's Ingram, and he has the football knocked away. It's at the bottom of the pile. Still no signal as the officials look to get to the bottom of the pile, and it will be Carolina football.
Well, if Carolina wanted to start fast, they're going to have opportunities right here.
You can't ask for a game to unfold much better. You see Mark Ingram's got that ball a little bit loose. It's a good play by Josh Norman. He gets a hand on it. It almost bounces right back to Mark Ingram. And you can see he just goes over the top right there. It's back by his legs, and here comes the Carolina defenders in to pull that out. Little loose there as he makes that rotation back inside. The ball comes off the body.
So Norman knocked it loose, and then Colin Cole, number 91, on the recovery. The last time these teams met, back in Week 9, a game won by the Saints, 28-10. New Orleans turned it over on their first 2 possessions. So the Panthers take over on the Saints 25. Off the fake to Stewart. Newton throws, looking for Stewart out of the backfield. That's Newton's first incompletion after starting the game 5 for 5.
An opportunity there just on a little check down. Wanted Jericho Cotchery in the back of the end zone, but good coverage by the Saints. Cam Newton just needed to buy a little bit more time there, a little bit more sense of urgency also by Jonathan Stewart as the check down back.
Second down and 10. 3 wide receivers set. Cotchery slot to the right. Now Cotchery comes in motion, shifts into the backfield. It's Stewart on the handoff from Newton. And Stewart takes it inside the 20 to the 19-yard line for a gain of 6, setting up 3rd down and 4.
Jonathan Stewart following up a big game last week for the Carolina Panthers. You see those numbers right there, sharing time with D'Angelo Williams, who's not in the lineup today, but that 1-2 punch, just going to be Jonathan Stewart here this afternoon. I'm interested to see how he plays when he's going to be the guy you're going to lean on. There's not going to be that shared rep where you're in and out of the lineup, and maybe right as you start to build some momentum, you have to come out, and D'Angelo Williams comes in for you.
Season high 85 yards on the ground for Stewart in Minnesota last week. 3rd down and 4. Play clock is at 2, and the Panthers use a timeout.
There's some veteran leadership there by Greg Olsen, recognizing
exactly.
that play clock is running down. Cam Newton's at the line in the audible situation, and he's got his tight end that's got his back in that situation, making sure you get that timeout called. It's a critical possession right here. You've got an opportunity to really jump on New Orleans at the start of this game and get up by 14. You cannot have opportunities like this and continue to kick field goals once you get down into the red zone.
It's the first 3rd down situation for Carolina. They did not get to 3rd down on their opening drive. 8 different starting combinations along their offensive line, tied for the most in the league. 7 the last 8 games.
And we'll see if Rob Ryan and his defense can take advantage of that in their blitz package.
Saints last in the league on 3rd down defense. Newton on 3rd and 4 overthrows Jericho Cotchery. He was wide open.
Opportunities to make plays, and Cam Newton has Jericho Cotchery wide open. They do a nice job with the blitz pickup. Watch. The Saints are going to bring pressure, but it's coordinated well with the offensive line and the running backs. Jericho Cotchery crossing the field. Watch how open he is right here, and Cam Newton just misses him.
Here's Graham Gano out to attempt a 37-yard field goal from the right hash. Brad Norman places it down. Gano's kick is straight through. So the Panthers score 3 following the turnover. Ingram has it knocked away. Now 10-0 Carolina. First time the Panthers have had a lead of at least 10 points in the first quarter all season.
An opportunity, a real good opportunity to have a 14-point lead on that last series. And Cam Newton, you know, it was good protection by his offensive line. We showed you the fact that they've had a lot of different combinations. Could impact the confidence of a quarterback in that situation, but he drifted back a little bit when he didn't have to. He had plenty of opportunity to stand in that pocket and deliver that ball to Jericho Cotchery.
Kickoff through the back of the end zone. Saints will start from their 20-yard line. We've played just over 5 minutes, and this high-flying New Orleans Saints offense has run only 2 plays.
Very similar to that last matchup, Kenny. You mentioned the fact that the Saints came out, had 2 turnovers on that at the beginning of that game. Carolina controlled that first half. They didn't take advantage of their breaks, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the half, they commit a couple of mistakes and find themselves down 14 going in at halftime.
Here Thomas in the backfield for the Saints. Breeze on first down, looking to throw. Fires downfield, and it is picked off. It's Ben Wickery with his first career pick, the rookie out of San Jose State. There is a flag at the end of the play. So you just mentioned it, Darryl. 2 turnovers to start the game by New Orleans in Carolina. And the Panthers forced 2 on the first 2 New Orleans possessions once again here today.
Looks like that ball's going to be spotted back exactly where he caught it. Take a look at it right here. Trying to get those big chunks. Right there, he was touched. He's down. They're going to bring it back all the way to the 40.
Illegal block in the back of the intercepted team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Now, I don't think it's going to go all the way back to the spot, Tony. I think you're going to get the penalty marked off on the illegal block in the back. But watch, as he rips the ball away from Joseph Morgan, he's clean. He's not been touched down.
He was touched before he had possession, but not once he had possession of the ball.
Yeah, he gets it right there, and now he is clean from that point. So that's just going to be the illegal block in the back penalty that pushes the Carolina Panthers back a little bit. But Ben Wickery, one of the young guys that everybody's been talking about, you know, an opportunity for him to step up today and get some extra snaps.
Yeah, well, they don't have to challenge it. It's a turnover, so it's going to be reviewed. Let's take a look.
Walt Coleman will take a look and see whether or not Ben Wickery was touched.
After reviewing the play, it is an interception. The intercepted player was down by contact at the 40-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Carolina at the 40-yard line. Please reset the clock to 9:52, please. 9:52.
So the Panthers lose 11 yards following the decision by Walt Coleman that Ben Wickery did have possession when he was touched by Joe Morgan. We bring in Mike Pereira from Los Angeles. Mike, do you agree?
Absolutely, and a clear shot that we had right there. He had possession of the ball with the left hand in control, and then he was grazed on really the undershirt, and that's considered part of the body, and that showed him in New York that there was enough to put him down by contact because he controlled the ball first, then was grazed, then went to the ground. So the right call in replay.
All right, thanks, Mike. So instead of 1st and 10 from the New Orleans 49, they move it back 11 yards to the Carolina 40.
I'm still trying to figure out how Tony saw that all the way from the opposite
It's the
end
new
of the
glasses. The new glasses I got.
Got a new prescription this week.
Unbelievable.
He is closer to the field than we are.
Yeah, a lot.
So from the 40, off the fake to Stewart, it's Newton. And Newton, who had a 21-yard run earlier, his longest of the season, now with a 22-yard pickup.
But what they're doing right now is everybody is carrying out the fake. This is a great fake right here into this part of the field on the run play. Jonathan Stewart carries it out. Look at everybody he pulls his way. I mean, my eyes follow Jonathan Stewart into the line of scrimmage, and then you look up and there's Cam Newton out on the edge. Real nice run looks right now by Carolina's option offense.
Newton's longest run coming into this game this season, 15 yards. He has a 21 and a 22 in the first quarter. Newton throws. It's the tight end Olsen. He is close to a first down as we head back to Los Angeles for a game break with Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Jets and Vikings, first possession, Geno Smith throws a pick 6. Third possession, Geno Smith throws a touchdown. Percy Harvin, his first as a Jet, 35-yard score. They're up 9-7 in Minnesota. Kenny, listen to this.
Percy Harvin doing it against one of his former teams, the Minnesota Vikings. Surprising start here in New Orleans. Saints have turned the ball over twice, and now Newton's pass is caught down at the 11-yard line by the rookie out of Ohio State, Philly Brown, 18 yards, and a Carolina first down.
And because of those big runs you've talked about, Kenny, by Cam Newton, it's having an impact on this defense. The linebackers are just crashing up in run support, and it's opening up some nice throwing lanes for this offense down the field.
New set of downs for Carolina from the New Orleans 11. Looking to capitalize on yet another Saints turnover. The handoff to Stewart, and Stewart gains 1 down to the 10. So it will be 2nd down and 9. 7 minutes in, first quarter. Panthers already out to a 10-0 lead. The Saints have turned the ball over twice.
Well, can the New Orleans Saints defense do it again this week? Last week against Pittsburgh, off to a slow start offensively. Their defense was good in the red zone. Can they do that again? Can they hold this to a field goal attempt right by the Panthers?
On second down, off the fake to Stewart. Newton throws across the field to Olsen. And Olsen is tackled by Keenan Lewis. Inside the 2, just shy of the marker.
That was a great play by Keenan Lewis. Tell you what, he was blocked one-on-one. If Olsen takes it to the outside, he gets to the end zone. Take a look at it right here. Decides to cut back inside. Keenan Lewis does a great job of an open field tackle right there. He saved the touchdown.
Yeah, bad cut by Greg Olsen. You can see him tapping his chest because he had Kelvin Benjamin in great position to just get to the outside on that.
Yeah, Calvin gave him, went and declared what side he was going to go and block him, and just didn't take that.
Third down and 1. 64, Brian Folkerts in as an extra blocker. Tolbert in the backfield. Low snap. And Newton dives over the top. He reaches across for a Carolina touchdown.
You got touchdown signal right here on the bottom. So once the ball breaks the plane, that is the end of the play. Breaks the plane right there and comes back, and then the fumble. So that's touchdown, Carolina.
And now some extracurricular activity right near you, Goose. What's going on?
Well, listen, guys are falling down. They're on the concrete right now. They got pushed in. The doors opened up to the end zone, to the walkway.
And there's Tony in the purple shirt just to the right of the screen with a bird's eye view.
Watch. I'll tell you what, Carolina didn't back down. Cam Newton started talking a little bit to the defense. Both of these teams backed each other up.
Sean Payton ran all the way down to the end zone to see what's going on. Newton taunting Cameron Jordan there.
Well, Coleman's got his work cut out for him because there was a lot of stuff going on down here. I'm surprised nobody got hurt. The door's open to the walkway coming down in the end zone. It's all concrete, and these guys all have 7-stud shoes on, so they were slipping and falling.
Yeah, it was pushed open, and we were down in that area, Tony, before the game. It's pretty slippery down behind the end zone.
Usually they put like a rubber mat down for players so they don't have to walk on that concrete because it's like walking on an ice rink like you know about, Kenny.
Yeah, it looked like Newton was celebrating in the face of Cameron Jordan, and then number 50, Curtis Lofton, came in and had words with Cam Newton.
And then as Mike Tolbert and an offensive lineman came in, they bumped into Curtis Lofton and pushed him further into Cam Newton.
After the touchdown, personal foul, number 86 of the offense. That player is disqualified. Personal foul, number 50 of the defense. Those penalties will all set on the kickoff.
I don't agree. I think it should have been taunting. I mean, Cam gets pushed a little bit, but then he taunts, and that's what started the whole deal.
Well, Brandon Williams, number 86, is throwing punches. Watch 86 as he comes in.
Well, that's why he got ejected.
Yeah, he got ejected for throwing the punch. Curtis Lofton, who got the penalty, did not throw a punch. But at the end of this, number 86, Brandon Williams, is seen throwing punches. So he's all done for the day.
And there you see the gates opening up.
And Williams, 86, there it is, right behind the goalpost with a right hook to Cameron Jordan. So Williams has been ejected. Curtis Lofton flagged for a personal foul as well. And you see the signal there from the umpire, Bill Schuster, telling Brandon Williams that he's done for the day.
Now they still have to review the touchdown. I don't know if they got that done yet.
Well, they had a lot of time upstairs.
Yeah, they had plenty of time. Looks like they did.
Newton did break the plane. And now Gano for the extra point.
Ron Rivera is yelling over there to the officials.
Extra point is good. Carolina out to a 17-0 lead. Newton over the top. He breaks the plane. And then during the celebration, he's shoved by Lofton. Williams comes in. Bedlam in New Orleans. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers out to a 17-0 first quarter lead on the New Orleans Saints, and then following the touchdown, Players getting together and punches thrown by Brandon Williams. There's Curtis Lofton, who was assessed a personal foul as well. We'll take another look following the kickoff. Carolina capitalizing on 2 New Orleans turnovers, 10 points off those miscues, and they lead by 17. Cadet takes an ace. Saints will start at the 20.
Well, you got to remember that as a football player, on the defense, if somebody does something to celebrate, every once in a while you're going to say, you know what, we're not going to let them do it. So there's Cam Jordan. So they have a collision there. There's some altercations there. Now everybody knows Cam Newton's going to come over and he's going to do the Superman sign. So now we're getting into it right there. That's where you see your quarterback kind of stirring that pot a little bit. Now he comes out. Here comes Curtis Lofton. You know, I ain't going to have you do that here. Now here comes the contact right here by both of the Carolina players.
On first down, it's Ingram, and he is bottled up, loses a couple. Thomas Davis, along with Star Latulele, in on the tackle.
Yeah, so at the end of that, you had Trey Turner, Mike Tolbert kind of bump into Curtis Lofton, who went into Cam Newton, and then everything explodes. So I think Walt Coleman and his crew did a good job. Brandon Williams is out. He threw the punch. Head coach Ron Rivera wanted to know why Curtis Lofton was not ejected as well. He didn't throw a punch. He was in the middle of that whole thing, but he didn't throw the punch.
Empty backfield, 2nd and 11. Catch is made, taken out to the 26-yard line by Marcus Colston. Gain of 7. So it will be 3rd down and 4 for the Saints, who turned the ball over twice on their first 3 offensive plays.
And again, we've talked about this season being completely out of character by the New Orleans Saints, a Sean Payton coach team. We've just seen them do certain things that we have not seen them do in previous seasons.
There was rhythm. You don't feel any kind of rhythm from this offense where they, would get yardage and move the ball.
Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, but could not come down with the ball in bounds. Thomas Davis on the coverage. Hard to get into a rhythm, Goose, when you've run only 6 plays.
No, I totally agree. It's, the run game isn't working. They went for the big chunk there. They got the interception. They got to just settle down, and they got to find a little bit of a groove in order to get this offense moving a little bit.
They've got to do something to steal the emotion and the momentum back from Carolina. You saw at the end of that play, Carolina's defense running off the field excited, and New Orleans' offense moping off the field.
The Morstead punt taken at the 24 by Burson, and a terrific special teams tackle made by Brian Dixon. 50-yard punt. Loss of 2 on the return.
And there's a little bit of emotion created by special teams for New Orleans. Brian Dixon, watch him working right here on the outside. Carrington Bindum, you just keep working down the field. There's your separation right there. Good timing, a good hit. Now, can the defense come out and pick up off that emotion and carry it into this series? They've got to do something here. Force a 3 and out, take the ball away. You cannot allow Carolina to come right back out here with all that emotion from the 17-0 lead and start rolling again.
I agree. Rob Ryan's got to find a way to get to Cam, try to disrupt him a little bit, not let him get in his groove, because right now he's really comfortable in that pocket, running for the ball and passing downfield.
146 yards of offense, and we have not yet played 10 minutes. Panthers lead 17-0, and now Newton is going deep for Benjamin. No flags. Keenan Lewis defending.
Real good coverage by Keenan Lewis on that play. Stride for stride, step for step, jump ball situation. Got to sell that double move a little bit more as a young receiver on the outside. Kelvin Benjamin will become better at selling that double move.
Tell you what, that offensive line is doing a great job for Carolina, protecting Cam, picking up everything. There's no pressure whatsoever on Cam Newton right now. And right here, they got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 from the 22. It's Jonathan Stewart, and the line does a nice job there, Tony. Flag at the end of the play after Stewart gains 9, as a couple of players get their hands up. Byron Bell and the safety for the Saints, Pierre Warren, involved after the play.
Yeah, well, divisional game, very emotional, always is. Can get a little chippy. Walt Coleman and his crew are going to have to monitor this very, very tightly, very, very closely right here, and not allow this game to slip away emotionally.
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 13, offense. 15-yard penalty, still second down.
That's on the receiver, Benjamin.
Well, we got a running play. He's coming from the outside, working against Keenan Lewis again. And that's just Brian Dixon this time, so he's just coming off. You can't go down on him. Just leave him there. You just did a tremendous job, Kelvin Benjamin. You just drove, you just blocked your defender to the ground, but you can't now attack him when he's on the ground. Maintain your emotions. That was a tremendous block in the running game.
Third personal foul of this first quarter. Forces Carolina back to the 16-yard line. Second down and 16. Three receivers set. Newton from the shotgun. Newton off his back foot, throws to the near side, and the catch is made by Philly Brown. Brown makes the catch at the 31-yard line for a gain of 15. One more look.
Well, that's just unbelievable. Yeah, I don't even know what you say on that, because, you know, if you're going to be critical of a quarterback in a pocket, drifting backwards, 1 foot, opposite hash throw to the far side of the field, it's no. What a play. You know, it's hard to defend that. That's just great athleticism in the pocket by a quarterback.
Now third down and 1. Newton for a first down out to the 33 as we head to Los Angeles for a game break with Joel Klatt. Joel.
Connect to Detroit, where the Lions are trying to keep pace with the Packers in the NFC North. That'll help Calvin Johnson from 6 yards out. It's his third touchdown in his last 2 games. 7-0. The Lions up on Tampa Bay. Back to New Orleans. Kenny Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks, Joel. Newton converting on third down. Panthers now 2 for 3 on third down today. They lead 17-0. This is Tolbert. And Tolbert falling forward out to the 37-yard line. Gain of 4. Cam Newton off to a terrific start here in New Orleans. He went 5 for 5 on the opening drive, and he has accounted for 155 yards, 105 in the air, and 50 on 5 carries.
Not a bad start, huh, Moose?
He had statistically, guys, one of his worst career games against the Saints back in October. Here's Stewart. He completed only 10 passes in that game, had his career worst completion percentage and passer rating, but a much different story here today.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the success they had in the passing game. Now all of a sudden New Orleans is second-guessing things. The option game today has been really, really productive for the Carolina Panthers.
Panthers have 8 first downs, so Carolina with more first downs than the number of plays the Saints have run. New Orleans turning the ball over twice. Another third and short, third down and 2 for Carolina. Newton looking to throw. He fires downfield, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver, Benjamin, with Lewis on the coverage.
He is really on today. Cam Newton is running the ball well, good decisions, and really putting the ball in tremendous locations. Keenan Lewis, Calvin Benjamin. It's tight coverage again, but watch this throw over to the outside, comes right down the chimney. Boom, Calvin Benjamin. An opportunity for a huge play goes right through his hands.
So Brad Nortman getting set to punt for the first time. Jalen Saunders, the rookie out of Oklahoma, originally drafted by the Jets, spent some time in Arizona and Seattle. Here is Saunders on the run, takes it at the 16. And Saunders is across the 40 and finally tackled at the 47-yard line by A.J. Klein. A 43-yard punt and then a 31-yard return by Jalen Saunders. Not the start Sean Payton had in mind. 2 turnovers leading to 10 Carolina points. Only 6 plays run by the Saints to this point.
would not have expected anything like that from this Saints team. We talked at the top. They control their own destiny. It's been a crazy year in the NFC South division, but the New Orleans Saints sit at 5-7. If they win out, they win the division. They host that home playoff game with everything on the line like that. To see them come out and play this type of game at the beginning is shocking.
And how about Carolina? A win today would get them to 4 on the season. Saints have 5, Atlanta with 5, Falcons and Green Bay tomorrow. Breeze over the middle to the Carolina 40-yard line. It's Nick Toon, his 6th reception of the season. Gain of 13 and the Saints first down.
I don't think he gets enough credit for his ball handling skills at the quarterback position. Does a lot of things. You just do all the details. The attention to detail by Drew Brees and just his fundamentals from the quarterback position are some of the things that he focuses on, and it's readily apparent during the course of the game.
Saints pick up their first down of the game. Off the fake. Brees with time. Brees throws over the middle. It's Ingram. And Mark Ingram has another Saints first down to the Carolina 29. Finally tackled by Thomas Davis. And now they will spot it back at the 31, so it'll be 2nd and short. Final minute, first quarter here in New Orleans.
Mike, 5'8", 5'8".
Breeze pointing out the mic. Thomas Davis, 58. This is Ingram, who fumbled earlier, and now he has a first down to the Carolina 27 as time winds down in this first quarter with the Saints on the move following the big punt return. Longest of the season for the Saints, going up against the Panthers, who have the worst kickoff and punt coverage in the league. So special teams setting up field position for the Saints on this drive. But they trail after one by the score of 17-0. So fireworks early following the Newton touchdown. The first quarter number is one-sided. 2 takeaways for the Panthers, leading to 10 points. 17-0 Carolina lead after the Panthers had scored only 30 first quarter points all season. On the toss, it is Ingram. And Ingram gains 1 down to the 26-yard line as we begin the second quarter here in New Orleans.
Yeah, but New Orleans is one of those teams that you can never feel comfortable with a lead. They have the ability to come back from any deficit. Drew Brees, a tremendous competitor. So right now, Carolina, tremendous start, but that's just one of the 4 quarters that you have to play here today against Sean Payton and this team. In this environment, if they can get this crowd back into it, they've done a tremendous job taking them out.
Here's Pierre Thomas up the middle. And the Saints are such a quick strike offense. They're 2nd in the league in total yards behind Indianapolis. They average 27 points per game, so this one not over by any means.
No.
Well, whoever we talked to on the Carolina Panthers, whether it was Roman Harper or Ron Rivera, Greg Olsen, they all came out and said the same thing. We need to get off to a fast start. This is not a team that they all feel can come from behind. So this is exactly where they want to be. They want to be up in points. They want to feel good about themselves. 17-0, play a little defense. It stays right in exactly their game plan for this particular team.
Now 3rd down and 7, and a timeout is taken by Carolina. It is their 2nd. So Drew Brees will head over for a chat with head coach Sean Payton. Well, this week, Fox brings you the biggest fight card in broadcast television history, with Junior Dos Santos taking on Stipe Miocic, plus Rafael Dos Anjos battling Nate Diaz, and a whole lot more. A 2-night UFC event begins Friday with the Ultimate Fighter finale on Fox Sports 1 and continues Saturday with UFC Fight Night on Fox. Well, these teams went at it back in the first quarter following the Cam Newton touchdown. Brandon Williams of the Panthers ejected. Curtis Lofton assessed a personal foul. These teams know each other well. NFC South rivals. 3rd down and 7 for the Saints. Brees throws, and the catch is made by Jimmy Graham. who did not have a reception last week. There is a flag. Nice tackle made by Thomas Davis, shy of the marker.
Yeah, good job, because he's outflanked Thomas Davis on the release.
Number 24, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So Josh Norman, the guilty Panther. Graham not even targeted last week. He's had some shoulder issues as of late.
But what a big penalty on Josh Norman right there. You've got Jimmy Graham short of the first down. You're going to force Sean Payton into a tough decision. Do you take the field goal in the 3? Do you go for it on 4th? They're going to get another shot right here because of that penalty.
So Graham loses the reception. 3rd down and 2 following the penalty. And now Breeze has his pass batted back. So the Saints unable to convert on 3rd down, and will send out the field goal unit.
That's a huge play right there. Defensive line going, getting the pass rush. Eyes in the backfield. Get your hands up. Tip a ball down.
Antoine Edwards, 92, getting a piece of it. So now the Saints will set up for a 37-yard attempt. The former Panther Shane Graham, he's never missed indoors from under 40. 41 for 41 in his career from the left hash. And Graham's kick is just inside the upright. So the Saints are on the board, trail by 14. Port of New Orleans on the Mississippi. Panthers with a 17-3 lead on the Saints following the 37-yard Graham field goal. So Carolina amazingly still alive with a record of 3-8-1. As we said in our open, who wants to win the division? It's up for grabs.
Well, we thought the Saints did after that impressive victory in Pittsburgh last week, and just shocked to see them come back here at home and stumble out of the gate the way they have today.
Atlanta, like the Saints, with a record of 5-7. They have the tiebreaker because they beat New Orleans back in week 1. Falcons at Lambeau tomorrow night. So with a win today, Panthers would be right there. Goose said the Panthers must get off to a quick start. And they did. With 17 first quarter points. Cam Newton and the Panthers start from their 20. On first down, the handoff to Stewart, who gains 3.
And now you just settle right back into that style that you're very, very comfortable with as an offense. You start getting into the zone read schemes, some of their power run games, some play action.
Ground and pound, and work the clock.
Second down and 7. It's Stewart again, and he picks up a Carolina first down.
And they're doing a great job with this concept right now. It's been really, really impressive. We're just getting that running lane right there, block down, bounce back out. That's Mike Remmers. That is well done. You're helping your double team down, and then you're bouncing back out. You created the seam.
Gain of 14 for Jonathan Stewart. Newton has it on the keeper. Newton out to the 40-yard line. John Jenkins brought him down. Gain of 3.
Watch the ride on the running back. Cam Newton is not making it easy. That's a long time in that ride situation before he makes that decision to pull.
Second down and 7. Tolbert in the backfield. Play clock now at 5. This is Tolbert. Tolbert out to the 45-yard line. He picks up 5, setting up 3rd down and 2. Ramon Humber on the tackle.
One of the things that Sean Payton talked to us about, we're going to have to be good against the run game. You know, Carolina will throw a lot of different things at us in their offense and that rushing attack, and our defense has got to be ready and prepared for all of them. You got to give the advantage right now to Carolina. That offensive line, we've talked about them, the shakeups during the course of the season. The first time in a long time they've had 2 starting 5s back-to-back. They're off to a great start this afternoon.
Play clock is at 2. Panthers get the snap away. And Newton's pass this time could not be handled by the fullback, Tolbert.
And one of the things we talked to Ron Rivera about was margin for error. When you're in the situation that they're in and you're having some losses and just out of sync, we saw Cam Newton miss Jericho Cotchery early in the game, and here's Mike Tolbert with an opportunity to get a first down here. He's got to make that catch, convert, get another set of downs. We saw him with a tremendously athletic catch to start the game.
Nortman to punt for the 2nd time. Saunders had that 30-yard return earlier. End over end kick. Taken out to 13 by Saunders. Cuts to the outside. And Jalen Saunders with another big return up the sideline. Finally dragged out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 32-yard return this time by Saunders. New Orleans Saints turned the ball over on their first 2 possessions. Ingram had it knocked loose. And then Breeze on the second New Orleans possession picked off by Ben Wickery. 2 turnovers on their first 3 plays, and Carolina turned those miscues into 10 points. But now following another terrific punt return by Saunders, Saints start at their 45-yard line. They empty the backfield. Breeze on first down. It is complete. Taking it into Carolina territory for a gain of 7 is Kenny Stills.
And that's one of the big things that's been an issue for Carolina. You mentioned, Kenny, they're last in punt coverage and kickoff coverage. And on that last punt, I mean, their lane integrity is so poor. They're moving to the ball. The widest guy is not maintaining his lane and keeping that returner on his inside shoulder. They're allowing that punt to get out on the edge the 2nd consecutive time this game.
More yards on the 2 punt returns today than the Saints had all season coming into this game. There is a flag. Pass intended for Marcus Colston. False start, says Walt Coleman.
Illegal formation, number 72, offense. He was in man on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Teron Armstead. So the ball spotted back at the 47-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 8.
Teron actually jogged off the field on that play, so Bryce Harris in at left tackle for the Saints.
Harris, number 79.
52, Miami. Ready, let's set.
Breeze on 2nd down, steps up and takes off. Back into Carolina territory. 2 yards shy of the marker.
He tried to stay in the pocket as long as he can, Drew Brees, but they collapsed right around him. He saw a little bit of a crease. And that's what you have to do as a quarterback, especially when you don't have the height to go and see over everybody. All of a sudden, those guys get really close. It's hard to find your receivers downfield. You just got to go and protect that ball a little bit.
Breeze listed as 6 feet tall, Tony, but you told me he's 5'11", right?
5'11 and a half.
Now on 3rd down and 2. Breeze complete to Kenny Stills for a first down. For the Carolina 44.
Trying to get that rhythm established. It has been so hard with the turnovers and the inconsistency of being able to establish any type of rhythm. Getting into it right here just a little bit. We'll see if the Saints offense can continue that. You look at the week by Kenny Stills against Pittsburgh.
5-8, ready.
Tremendous day last weekend.
Career high 162 yards, and now Ingram finds a hole and picks up another Saints first down to the Carolina 29. Mark Ingram gains 16.
And again, just the ball fakes, the play action, and the sell by Drew Brees. You're going to pull this guy in, and then he's going to actually follow around. He's going to widen that, and it makes it real easy for Mark Ingram to get back up inside that. You don't even have to block the defensive end there just because of the play action by Drew Brees.
Biggest play of the day for the Saints on offense. 16-yard run by Ingram. Now Brees complete. It's Nick Toon, his second catch, and is met at the 23-yard line by Ben Wickery, gain of 6. Bryce Harris still in at left tackle. Teron Armstead chatting with the Saints medical staff on the sidelines. 8 minutes remaining, second quarter. Saints send in the fullback Eric Lorig, second down and 4. And it's Lorig who makes the catch. But he is met immediately by the NFL's leading tackler, Luke Kuechly. Lorig makes his 8th reception of the season. Kuechly now in his 3rd year. NFL Defensive Player of the Year a season ago.
Yeah, and an opportunity to surpass Patrick Willis with the most tackles your first 3 years in the NFL, and probably one of the greatest compliments somebody can pay to you. Sean Payton said about Luke Kuechly, he can cross generations. He could have played in different eras of the NFL. That's high praise for a player.
Saints empty the backfield, 3rd down and 4. As Brees saw pressure, forced to get rid of it. It was Thomas Davis coming up the middle, and the tight end Josh Hill unable to make the catch.
Well, the timing gets thrown off a little bit. The ball's, I don't know if it was tipped or deflected, but you still got to concentrate all the way in. Just, wait for it. You could see Josh Hill, he took his eyes off it right as the ball arrived.
There's Roman Harper right there. You see him. You ain't going to fool him on those screens. He's seen him for many years playing here in New Orleans.
Coming back as a visiting player, Goose, for the first time. 42-yard attempt for Graham. And he hooks this one to the left. Connected from 37 earlier. No good from 42. The New Orleans Saints have lost their last 3 here at home to San Francisco, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. They trail 17-3 today. Cam Newton, 105 yards in the air and a touchdown pass. Also the leading rusher for Carolina today. In the absence of D'Angelo Williams. Panthers scored on their first 3 drives. Newton and the Carolina offense back to work. Newton fires downfield. Benjamin, the antenna receiver, no flags. The rookie out of Jacksonville State, Pierre Warren, defending.
I think he had him a little bit earlier on that play. Kelvin Benjamin was actually open as he crosses into the middle of the field, and you're a little bit late. It gives Pierre Warren the opportunity to come down and contest that throw.
Warren making his 3rd consecutive start. Saints, of course, without the 3-time Pro Bowler Jarris Byrd, who was brought in prior to the season. They lost a couple of terrific players in the secondary, and Malcolm Jenkins and Roman Harper now with Carolina. Jonathan Stewart out to the 38, gain of 6.
One of the impressive things that Carolina has been able to do today, they've been able to be aggressive on 1st down with their passing game. And then when they've gotten into the 2nd and 10s, they've been able to be very productive and get back into a 3rd and manageable situation.
Ron Rivera's Panthers 2 for 5 today on 3rd down. Panthers must get to the 42.
I think Ron Rivera saw something he didn't like. He called timeout on the sideline.
And that will be the 3rd and final timeout taken by Carolina, which means over the next 4 minutes, 14 seconds prior to the 2-minute warning, Ron Rivera will not be able to challenge a play if he needs to without the timeout.
Well, I think it just shows that how important every single snap is for the Carolina Panthers. This is an offense, when you talk about the Saints, that can come back from anything. And they had an opportunity on that last series to really get back into this game. Credit the Carolina defense, the missed field goal by Shane Graham. So now all of a sudden you come back out. This is a big possession right here. So you come out on a critical 3rd down and you're going up against a defense that struggles mightily on third downs, and if it doesn't look right, I don't mind that timeout right there. I know the implications of not being able to challenge down the stretch, but let's go at one play at a time. I didn't like the way that looked. Let's make sure we give ourselves an opportunity to convert here.
Fans on their feet in New Orleans. 3rd down and 4 for Carolina. Panthers must get to the 42 as Newton fires, and they will pick up the first down. It's Brenton Burson out of Wofford University, needed 4 and gained 9.
There was a lot of stuff going on there to challenge that Saints defense. We saw 2 offensive players cross formation, and then it just comes back to a simple one-on-one on the outside.
Burson, first NFL player to come out of Wofford since his boss, Jerry Richardson, the owner of the Carolina Panthers. Newton with time on first down. To the outside, it's Olsen. Greg Olsen to the 45-yard line, gain of 8.
And Greg Olsen is just, in my opinion, he's one of the guys you have to have on your team. We saw him earlier in the first half in a situation in the red zone. Something's not right. Cam Newton's changing the play at the line of scrimmage, loses track of the play clock, and you've got Greg Olsen to get you the timeout to give you an opportunity to convert. He's one of those players who's just very cognizant of everything that's going on the field, and then you add to that his production at the tight end spot, and he's one of those key guys in a locker room and definitely on an offensive unit.
4 receptions today, 65 on the season for Olsen, as Stewart takes it up the middle. And you talk about the tight ends around the NFL, most receiving yards over the last 3 seasons. First 2 in our game today, Graham and Olsen.
Yeah, and that's some pretty nice company right there when you look at those 5 tight ends and Greg Olsen at the number 2 slot right there. I bet you that surprises a lot of people that he's ahead of Jason Witten.
And never been to a Pro Bowl, right?
Never been to a Pro Bowl. Tough in the NFC. Tough in the NFC. A lot of really good tight ends.
They have Witten and Vernon Davis, Tony Gonzalez for many years in Atlanta. Newton on 3rd and short. And Cam Newton able to pick up the first down. 4.5 remaining. 2nd quarter here in New Orleans, with the Panthers leading the Saints 17-3. Carolina taking advantage of 2 early Saints turnovers. Saints with only 4 first downs in the game. Now the Saints use a timeout, their first. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, don't miss an inspiring special feature as Tiger Woods meets a very special 3-year-old and the most unlikely of golfers. He's not only inspiring Tiger, but redefining what it means to be disabled. Fox Sports Live tonight, 11 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. There is number 1. Cam Newton, who has had a terrific first half. He's 11 of 17, 122 yards and a touchdown pass. He's also gained 55 yards on the ground, scored a touchdown on a dive over the top, which gave his Panthers a 17-0 lead.
Yeah, but that's the guy you have to be concerned with right there. An uncharacteristic half for the New Orleans Saints, especially with everything on the line. Surprised to see how this game has unfolded, but you can never rest. Breeze and Graham together, and then you add what Kenny Stills did last week. It's an explosive offense. Cam Newton's got to keep his guys focused the whole game.
From the 42, the stutter step by Stewart, and he's able to gain 8 down to the 34-yard line. Newton now in his 4th season. Panthers won the division at 12-4 last year. Remember, he missed the OTAs much of the offseason, except for the ankle injury, then the fractured rib. Did not start in the Week 1 game down in Tampa Bay. On 2nd and 2, Stewart out of the backfield.
And what that really did is it really set Cam Newton back when you talk about a team that really overhauled their wide receiver position.
Junior Gillette down. Gillette with 7 sacks on the season. Signed a big extension, tended to by the New Orleans medical staff. Junior Gillette of the Saints injured on the previous play. Panthers now facing a 3rd down and 6. Panthers must get to the 32. Newton takes off, and it'll pick up a 1st down and more. Cam Newton down to the Saints' 25-yard line as he signals 1st down. Newton able to gain 13.
Look at all the guys that were right here, and you've got this design. They're going to run a little quarterback draw, and you see how well it's blocked. Andrew Norwell just drives Curtis Lofton down the field, and that opens up everything to the left side. Looked like they were going to be running that right into a blitz. Good understanding of what that play was designed to do.
4th time Newton has picked up a 1st down with his legs today. This is Tolbert, looks to bounce it to the outside, and he dives forward for a yard.
I want to get back into that leadership discussion we had with Cam Newton before Junior Gillette got hurt. He has an opportunity this season right now to really assert himself as the guy on the offense. Steve Smith was a dominant personality. They parted ways with him in the offseason. This is a young team, young in the offensive line, young in the wide receiver position that usually does have that dominant personality that becomes kind of the emotional spark for the team. Cam Newton, this season at the end, that should be his #1 goal, to become the #1 leader on this offense.
Newton's pass is caught by Greg Olsen. Takes it down to the 16-yard line. Curtis Lofton slow to get up. And now the Saints will use their 2nd timeout following the injury suffered by Lofton.
At the end of the play, he has his hand on the helmet, and then Kenny Vaccaro comes in and puts his helmet. And let me tell you how much that hurts. On the tips of your fingers, when you're the cushioning in between 2 helmets.
It's like hitting your hand with a sledgehammer.
Take your breath away.
That hurts.
Saints already lost Junior Gillette earlier on this drive, replaced by the rookie out of Boston College, Kasim Edebali. Carolina on this drive, 3 for 3 on 3rd down.
3 for 3 right up the middle, too. If you're the New Orleans Saints right here, you got to, as a defensive lineman, you got to stay low, try to take out those offensive linemen and have your linebackers go and read everything over the top. You can't get pushed back in their way right here. Let's see what happens.
On 3rd and 1 off the fake to Stewart. Wide open in the end zone. It's Olsen for the Panthers touchdown.
Wow, did they sell that one?
Yep.
There was nobody downfield. Everybody came up to support the run.
Well, they beat you 3 times against the run. You think they're going to come back to it.
You bring the wing. They had squeezed everybody up. There's the good run fake, and then Greg Olsen coming from the tight end spot. That's something you have to know as a secondary. It's 3rd and 1. The one thing you have to guard against. I mean, that's a play that every offense carries in 3rd and short, and that's a blown assignment by the New Orleans Saints right there.
6th touchdown reception of the season for Olsen, his 1st over the last 7 games. So the Carolina Panthers 4 for 4 on 3rd down on that drive. 12 plays, 68 yards. And this is the most points the Panthers have scored in a game since week 6. The tie in Cincinnati during their 6-game losing streak never scored more than 21 points. The crowd stunned here in New Orleans. Saints trail by 21. Well, NFL athletes grew up playing in communities all across America. Now through NFL Play 60, they're encouraging kids in neighborhoods everywhere to come out and play for 60 minutes a day. To learn how NFL stars played as kids and to find great play ideas, visit NFLrush.com/play60.
Did you have that park you remember as a kid growing up, Kenny?
I do. Yeah, one of the schoolyards, the elementary school.
Lions Park for me. Lions, and then I graduated to Faulkner Park when I got to be, 10, 11 years old.
How about you, Goose?
We didn't have no parks in our neighborhood. We just played on the street and the pavement, which was a little tough, but
Tough on the knees?
yeah, a little tough on the knees. A little tough.
Carolina Panthers 24 first half points. Cam Newton 2 touchdown passes, ran for another. As Cadet takes it out to the 25 with 2:08 remaining in the first half. The Saints have run only 19 plays. They've picked up 4 first downs. They had the ball for less than 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, just a huge transition on that last series, that last set of plays. Cam Newton brings his offense all the way down the field. They get the touchdown. New Orleans looked as though they were going to close it to 17-6, maybe 17-10.
That pass is nearly picked off by Ben Wickery, who had one earlier.
Well, you can see why they are high on Ben Wickery. I mean, he is very aggressive. The interception he had early in the game was a great play on the ball. There's another one right there.
5th round pick out of San Jose State. He missed 6 games due to an ankle injury, returned last week against Minnesota, and the Panthers released the veteran Antoine Cason this week, who started 11 games at left corner. This is Jimmy Graham, his first reception in 6 quarters. And that 7-yard reception takes us to the 2-minute warning here in New Orleans. First place up for grabs in the South. Panthers by 21. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Carolina Panthers lead the New Orleans Saints 24-3. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Second quarter. 3rd down and 2 for Drew Brees and the Saints. As that pass is broken up, it's Roman Harper, the longtime Saint, with the coverage on Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, but that's a tough throw because Drew Brees has got defenders bearing down on him. Charles Johnson goes back inside, and he's pressing up. And then from the opposite side, you've got Mario Addison coming in low.
If the Saints do not get the ball back in this half, they will match their fewest number of plays in a first half this season. 22 against Dallas back in week 4. Fair catch is called for by Burson. We head to Los Angeles. What's coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, Kurt?
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, I'll be joined by all these guys as the Steelers and Bengals lock up in a key AFC North battle, and the Ravens look to take a wild card spot from the Dolphins. We get you caught up on all the action coming up on the Visa Half.
Hey, who's this good-looking guy?
Howie or Michael, which one are you talking about?
Did you ever think there were 2 Jimmys yelling at you out on the practice field?
No, we were always well aware there was only one Jimmy. There will always be only one Jimmy. Although sometimes the one that I see on television is nothing like the one that I played for.
There you go.
So maybe there is 2
Split personality, huh?
We look forward to hearing from the guys at halftime. Panthers back on offense from their own 26-yard line, leading by 21 as Stewart is tackled by David Hawthorne.
I don't know. I'd like to see Carolina right here stay aggressive. It seems like they're trying to slow the pace down here, maybe get in at halftime 24-3. You've had this New Orleans Saints defense on their heels the entire first half. I'd keep going. You can be conservative. It can be screens. It can be that zone read. Let's see if you can hit a big play and then build that momentum again. Give yourselves an opportunity for maybe a long field goal attempt.
Especially the way your defense is playing.
Oracle Contry shifted into the backfield. Hand off to Stewart, and Jonathan Stewart picks up a first down and more. Out to the 43-yard line. Stewart gained 16.
Yeah, but with that pace of play, you just took a lot of time off the clock. And here you go. We talked about this. It's just a little zone read misdirection. Here you go. Greg Olson's out in front, kind of like a power play there. Jonathan Stewart gets a nice game, but you let about 40 seconds go off that clock that you didn't need to.
Down to 55 remaining. Panthers approaching 300 yards of offense in the first half alone. Across midfield into Saints territory, it's Philly Brown, his third catch today. Remember, Carolina out of timeouts. 290 total yards, 84 for the Saints. Olsen unable to make the catch.
Well, we're inside 2 minutes, so we'll go up to booth review. Let's see what Greg Olsen did out here.
He was happy. I'm standing right over here next to him. He was happy to go and know that's inside 2 minutes, so it will be reviewed. He says, I got that ball.
Yeah, it was ruled an incompletion.
Definitely looked like he got that left hand underneath the ball, popped it up.
Wait and see if the replay booth buzzes down to Walt Coleman. And they have.
Watch that left arm, or the left hand. He's got it underneath, pops it back up onto his chest. And then the presence to get to the sideline and get out of bounds, too.
You saw the head linesman, Jerry Bergman, signal incomplete pass. But it certainly did not look on the replays that we saw like it hit the ground. We'll welcome in Mike Pereira from Los Angeles once again. Mike, was it a reception in your mind?
You know, I think it is, and you got to be aware of what this means if they reverse it to a catch. And it means that then the clock would restart after they put the ball ready for play, and Carolina's out of timeouts. But to me, the hand is under the ball. I think it's pretty clear. And so if they reverse it to a catch, then again, they'll probably let Carolina get set up for the next snap before they start the clock. But again, they don't have any timeouts left, so the clock is an issue.
And it would be a first down, thanks Mike, at the 41 if it is ruled a catch. If the call on the field stands, it will be 3rd and 1 from the 48.
Great point by Mike Pereira that we talked about that last timeout called by Ron Rivera to stop the clock. And well, now they're out. They can't challenge down the stretch here in the first half. So that point of, okay, it's a catch, but they're going to have to be ready for play. Hopefully everybody on Carolina knows that. They don't waste some precious seconds getting to the line of scrimmage.
Here comes Walt Coleman.
After reviewing the play, the ruling is reversed. It is completed catch. First down at the 42-yard line. Due to going from a stop to a running clock, we will take 10 seconds off the clock. Please reset the game clock to 19 seconds, please. 19 seconds.
Olsen saying, what are you talking about? I reached towards the sideline. But the clock will be reset. And the ball's supposed to be spotted at the 42. They've spotted the ball at the 39. That's a 3-yard differential as we head back to Mike Pereira. Mike.
Clearly, he's right about the 10-second runoff. Since the pass was completed inbounds and the clock would have continued to run, since they ruled it incomplete, the 10-second runoff was put in, so the offense would not really gain an advantage of a stopped clock that should have been remained running if the ruling on the field was correct. We put that rule in about 4 years ago, and of course we know now that there's no timeouts left for Carolina, so they can't buy the 10-second back. That's the deal there. So clock still will start on the ready for play, but they can't buy back those 10 seconds.
Mike, what about the fact that he reached the sideline to stop the clock?
Now, but remember, they ruled it incomplete at that spot.
Okay.
So anything that happened after that's irrelevant.
All right, thanks, Mike. And they have respotted the ball back at the 42. It was initially placed at the 39. following the spike. 1 second ran off the clock.
Well, Dal, you said it about it earlier. I mean, they were not using the clock to their advantage. They had the momentum. They had everything. Now, right here, they're starving for some time. I mean, they can get in field goal range very easily the way they're moving the ball.
Here's Newton on second down. Firing downfield, looking for Philly Brown. No flags. Keenan Lewis defending.
Yeah, incidental contact. Feet got tangled up. A concern for New Orleans. Looks like Keenan Lewis, he's still down on one knee in the end zone. So on the outside, Philly Brown versus Keenan Lewis. You see the feet get tangled up right there. But right now, Keenan Lewis is still down. Hopefully just tying his shoe back there in the end zone.
Now 3rd down and 10 from the 12.
Timeout called, guys.
Timeout taken by New Orleans. Going back to that first down play, Darryl, why do you think Cam Newton spiked the ball? Because the clock was not running once they reset it to 19.
Maybe some confusion at that point on what was going on in that situation. It was a confusing set of circumstances right there. The big thing, you saw Greg Olsen saying, well, I tried to stretch to get the ball out of bounds, and Mike Pereira clarified that because it was ruled incomplete, everything that happened after that point is irrelevant. So, with the 10-second runoff, they're going to roll that clock right away again.
Right, they set it to 19 and then snapped the ball at 19, and then he spiked it at 18. So there may have been some confusion because Walt Coleman initially announced it would be a running clock, but then it was not after it was reset to 19. So in any event, it is now 3rd down and 10 from the 42. Newton steps up. There is a flag heading for the sidelines with no timeouts remaining. And he gets out with 5 seconds on the game clock.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Again, I'm going to go back to the first play of this whole 2-minute situation where there was not really a sense of urgency at that time, and you let about 40 seconds go off the clock. So you put yourself in a position during the course of the drive to maybe have an opportunity for the field goal attempt. Now really all you have the opportunity to do is a throw into the end zone, and maybe Kelvin Benjamin can get up there and elevate and make a play for you. But Ron Rivera needed to be a little bit more aggressive at the start of this possession. You never know what's going to happen. Then all of a sudden, Jonathan Stewart rips off that big run, and now you get into it, but you've left 40 seconds off that clock.
So this should be the final play of the half, barring a defensive penalty. Panthers from their own 48. Newton with time. And now Newton fires downfield towards the end zone. It's deflected, and then Contry nearly had a chance. Knocked down by David Hawthorne. So the first half comes to an end with Carolina Panthers leading the New Orleans Saints 24-3. One more look. There's Benjamin, number 13 in the middle, surrounded by 3 Saints. So the Saints, who have lost 3 straight here at home, down by 3 touchdowns at the half, as we send you to the Visa Halftime Report in Los Angeles with Kurt and the gang. Guys?